Good evening and welcome to the Bobby Moore Stand. I'm Gary. He's Chris. No Martin tonight. He's delayed at work. Bloody excuse, isn't it? Excuse. He must be stuck on the roof. Is he stuck up on the roof?
Yeah, unacceptable, isn't it? Yeah, stuck up on the roof.
Yeah, so it's been an eventful week again. When is it not eventful as a West Ham supporter? But we've got quite an interesting show for you tonight. They're going to take you through, firstly, is this a new era of West Ham or is it just same old stuff? And will it turn rotten eventually? I think we know the answer. We look back at the Everton game that you were at the other night in a very successful speed vlog that you made, Chris.
Thank you. Yeah, shame the journey back wasn't so speedy, but yeah, no, it was a great day, great morning, great afternoon, great evening, great morning, because that is essentially what it took up of my 2 days, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, it's good to be there to see the potentially the birth of Freddie Potts and Magassa as well.
Yeah.
And when people ask, why, you got a new manager now, what are you moaning about? Well, let's just talk about how they handled the sacking of the old one, shall we? I mean, let's not mention the fact they hired the old one and the one before. So, we'll talk about that because I'll just prove, based on, again, it was proven the other day, this thing on TalkSport, but now it's proven in the Guardian, which is, proper journalism with more than two or more sources, etc., etc. If it's in there, it's going to be a fact. And I'm going to explain what was factual, which is what I told you last Saturday, and what wasn't. And why the fuck did I have to make up stories about it? Just because they do, right? That's what they do. They will always lie to us. And finally, we'll have a little talk about the Arsenal away game at the weekend, which you're going to as well, Chris.
Yeah, non-stop, mate, non-stop. I'm on a winning streak right now, Gal. I need to continue it. Well, not a winning streak. I'm on a non-losing streak. Is probably the best way to say it.
How many games?
Well, I missed the Sunderland game, as you know, because I was coming back from Japan like the day before. So had I gone to that, then I wouldn't have this streak. But no, mine kind of tails back from when I went with you, United away, then Ipswich away, last game of the season, and then what else? What else have I gone to? I've forgotten now. Where else did I go? Oh, Nottingham Forest away, and of course, Everton away. So yeah, I'm unbeaten. I'm undefeated in 4, which is something really rare to say.
I'm unbeaten in 4. Before that, you were on a losing streak of about 10, weren't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was. Yeah.
Still, you paid the price, and now you're getting the benefit. That's the way it works, West Ham, isn't it?
Well, you'd like to think so, wouldn't you? You'd like to think so, but no, I think after what I saw, and I'm sure we'll speak about it in a bit. But after what I saw on Monday, there's definitely some good reason to be optimistic. I think under Nuno for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think on the football side, anyway. And that's really, well, it's not all I care about. There are 2 things that I care about. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. The Bobby Moore Stand here on YouTube. Please give the video a like as well and hit the bell notification icon, all that stuff. Like really helps us. If you want to hype, up to you. Up to you how you use your free hypes. I'm not going to beg you for it, you know what I mean? So anyway, let's crack on. So first of all, in fact, we should do this in a slightly different order because we'll get to the point where we discuss Nuno and we decide whether it's a new era or something is going to go badly wrong at some point. So let's do the agenda in a slightly different order and talk about firstly the sacking of Graham Potter. Now it's history. Who cares, right? It's done. He's gone. Thank God he's gone. He was terrible, bloody terrible at the end. So I have no qualms with him being sacked. But I do believe, he's a human being and he deserves to be given a little bit of dignity. Just to recap what I said last Saturday, you remember the memes, they were putting Potter's face on everything. It was all very funny on Twitter. Humiliating for him. The club media team did not help him going into the media round he did on Friday ahead of the match. At this point, he was still taking the match against Everton. Nobody told him otherwise. Anyway, by all accounts, they had a massive bust up. He went back into the media team, had a massive bust up afterwards. I don't know what happened from that point on. I think Tara was there. She's always there, isn't she? And what happened was later that night from Spain, David Sullivan called him up and sacked him by phone and told him he was taking the Everton game and the Arsenal game. What he actually said was, "You're leaving." Sullivan said to him, "You're leaving on my conditions," and he said, "No, I'm not leaving on your conditions. I'm leaving on mine." So it's the first time he'd actually showed some fucking guts, really. But it was the right thing for him, absolutely. And then basically what he did was turn up at training the next day to tell the players that he was leaving. Now, that narrative has been taken to pieces because what Sullivan ended up doing, believe it or not, on the Friday night was desperately calling Nuno and trying to get him to start on the Saturday to take the Everton and the Arsenal games. And that's why he ended up giving him a 3-year contract. Do you think he's getting a 3-year contract? Well, he has now, which is good, but he wouldn't have got it otherwise, right? Because Sullivan likes to think he's a hard negotiator, doesn't he? A tough negotiator. So, yeah, Chris, what do you think about that to start with?
Yeah, well, I think we kind of addressed it a little bit last week, but
Yeah.
I think it just highlights once again how incompetent the club is run under the ownership of Sullivan and Brady. As you've kind of pointed out with regards to Potter, he had to go, but I think there's ways of doing that. You know, there's ways of dismissing people from their job. It's just incredibly unprofessional. So I think it's embarrassing. You know, it's embarrassing. I mean, I wanted him out the club, but I just dislike the way the club do these things sometimes. And I know it's a cutthroat industry being a football manager, but equally, there's ways of doing this, and there's ways of treating human beings. And I don't think David Sullivan is a human being, right? And this is the thing. He has no empathy or sympathy. He just
people are just pawns in his little game, right? He pays for them and they turn up. Now, Graham Potter. Now, this is from the Guardian article by Jonathan Liu. I urge you to go and read it. It's the best bit of writing about the West Ham situation that I've read. I'm going to read one paragraph for you later, but this is the opening paragraph. Just to prove my point, right? Graham Potter still turned up for work on Saturday morning, even though there was no work left for him to do. A team meeting was arranged at which Potter announced to general bewilderment that he'd been sacked. Potter left. Training was delayed because nobody was available to take it. Eventually, the new coach, Nuno Espirito Santo, arrived on site and hastily began preparations for the Everton game because until Friday, he didn't bloody know he was coming either, right? Now, the way this was painted in the press, firstly, it was reported, oh, he was sacked on Saturday. No, he wasn't. He was just turning up to say bye to the boys. There was no one there to take training, hence why he kept going back and asking where the fucking hell the new coach is, right? You know, otherwise just leave it swinging in the wind, didn't you? And then they invented something wildly different the following day. They said Nuno was so desperate to take over immediately that he insisted that he called Sullivan and demanded to join now. It's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why we've got the no more BS campaign.
Yep, it continues. It continues.
Yes, because it's all they do is feed us bollocks the whole time. They don't think we're entitled to the real story. The real story's bad, but fucking hell, just tell us the truth. What's wrong? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? You know. So honestly, it's not going their way at the moment. This is our moment as a campaign group. I'm telling you now, they are on the ropes. I've been watching, listening, reading to all the different journos this week and what they've got to say since that appointment of Espirito Santo, especially after the draw, which was a very good draw against Everton. I expected there to be a sea change in amongst the pundits. And sure enough, one or two of them have said something that really riled me, like Stuart Pearce saying, oh, you had to move for new ground because it's about the money in it. But then Stuart Pearce, yeah, whatever. You know, it's not deepest finger in the world, is he? But that aside, pretty much everybody, including Sullivan favourite previously, Jacob Steinberg, have continued to twist the knife. People get it now. I've even been told that somebody sat across from Henry Winter, and Henry Winter got it. And this guy here, Jonathan Liu, Matt Laws, Jacob Steinberg, they were previously massive board supporters. Yeah. So they can't understand it. The board, the owners, they cannot understand it, why they haven't got the media in their pocket anymore. because that's the way it is, isn't it? When you give people money, or not, I'm saying he gave them money, but that is what happens. When you're rich, you get favors, don't you? Not anymore.
Yeah,
They've
I
been
mean,
exposed. They've been fucking exposed.
they've been exposed, and it's hard to defend something that's so blatantly obvious. And I think
Yeah.
this is kind of predominantly where the media is right now. They can see it, they can feel it from the West Ham fans. It's everywhere, and hence, the whole BS out is so important right now, because we just need to continue with our foot firmly pressed down on that pedal, because it's working, and we just need to continue this into the upcoming games as well, and beyond that, until we can finally remove that cancer out of West Ham United. So yeah, it's actually really good to see and read all of this stuff out there in the press, to be fair. It really is. And it's been a long time coming, it's been a long time coming. And yeah,
you know what's disappointed me so far this week is people repeating, only a few people that I really like and trust, repeating Sullivan ain't going anywhere. Well, yeah, but I know where that's come from. He would say that, wouldn't he? He don't want to go anywhere. Guess what, though?
Well, I think
have to go somewhere.
I saw that this week. I heard it this week. I think it may well have been. It was probably Jim Wyatt who said it. I'm sure he said that on TalkSport this week. So it's the usual suspects. He's not going to sell. It doesn't matter what you do. He's not going to sell. Well, do you know what? We'll continue doing what we're doing.
We're gonna test him. Yeah, we're gonna test him. We're gonna see. We're gonna see if he's still in the mood to stay around. Because the biggest thing about Sullivan is his vanity. The media is really important and how he's seen. Right now, one more paragraph. This ain't story time. But one more paragraph from this fantastic article in The Guardian by Jonathan Liu, who I've never read one of his articles before, but my God, he can write. I like to think he was in a darkened room with a fountain pen writing this on parchment, But every paragraph has got some sort of passion and some sort of meaning. Now, listen to this. The London Stadium was conceived as a world-class athletics venue, and perhaps the kindest thing you can say about it is today it remains a world-class athletics venue. The shallow rake efficiently disperses the noise up the back straight. The high distance seats offer a magnificent view of the javelin competition. There's a nice canal alongside and as much street food as you can eat. But a walled fortress it is not, and never can be. And frankly, it's the most visible symptom, if not the underlying cause, of modern West Ham. It's beautifully written.
Oh, it's spot on. It's 100% spot on. Yeah.
Yeah. So, honestly, they've proven this week that they will just make shit up, cross brief against different people. Why, when a manager steps out the door, they have to attack him and blame him for everything? Just let the geezer go. You know what I mean? But they do. Every single manager that leaves is followed by a barrage of shit, blaming everything that went wrong during his tenure on him. That's what happened this week. And maybe it was his fault, but who cares? He's gone. Stop slagging him off. Is all it is to me when they say stuff like that is my suspicions are aroused that they had something to do with it.
Yeah. But as you said, he has gone now, and it's now about looking forward. Hopefully to some on a football related, kind of subject, a positive, positive thing, because I actually think Nuno. I think he's and he's I don't want to get too excited after one game. I don't want to do that, but I think everything I'm hearing from this guy, I like. And I don't know if you've been watching his presses and stuff, but he had one today, and there was one particular question that he was asked by one of the journos, and it was something along the lines of, we kind of understand that you didn't have the greatest of relationships with Marianakis at Nottingham Forest. How important was it for you to work under the right owner, or something like that? I can't remember exactly, quote unquote. And the way he answered that question was brilliant. He didn't say, no, I'm really, the board have been great and I'm really happy to work with David Sullivan or whatever. He just turned around and said, well, I didn't choose them. They chose me. That's not how it works. I thought that was a brilliant answer, because he's completely ignoring that fact. And I think everything that he's saying around, I guess, kind of his objectives right now in terms of trying to bridge the gap between the fans and the players is so true. And I think he's hit the nail on the head there, because this is the one thing that we can try and get right. The board is one thing, but actually the team on the pitch and the supporters, we need those players. I think, we do need to bridge that gap. And I think those sort of things that he's saying in terms of, I guess, how youth is important. Now, I know Potter said the same things, but I kind of feel that with Nuno, there seems to be kind of an element of authenticity in terms of what he's saying. Like I feel like I can believe what he's saying,
Yes,
right?
yes.
I love the fact that he's talking about, becoming a strong, aggressive, brave, hard to beat team. Now, I know these are cliches and a lot of managers say this, but it's all he's been saying. When
Yeah.
people are asking him questions in terms of, okay, so what have you inherited here at West Ham, and all this, he's like, well, I'm still learning. I'm still learning. We still need to understand each other. I love all of that because typically the answer from a manager will be, oh, no, we've got a great squad here. We really need to get down, working hard on the training pitch, the usual kind of BS. But Nuno's pretty much saying it as it is. And I like that.
Yeah.
He's not over promising on anything. He's just basically get to the root cause of what the problem is. I mean, he knows damn well, corners, for instance, and crosses, right? Conceding from set pieces. He addressed that today. And I think someone said that's a problem. He goes, oh, yeah, it's a big, big problem. I think he said, quote, a big, big problem. So he knows, right? He's not going to shy away from any of this stuff. So I like what I'm hearing from him so far. And one thing I'm very confident about Nuno, and forget style of football and everything else, but one thing I'm very, very confident with him is that he will shore up that defence. I'm very confident that he'll be able to do that. Hopefully, he can do it with the resources he has available now. But I fully expect that come January, and I know there's a lot of games between now and January, he will want to bring in, further reinforcement to the back. Which
he will. He will. And this is where the test comes, right? I mean, just a few words from from what I've heard about people. Former player Connor Cody, who apparently who basically formed a really good centre half pairing with Max Kilman under his stewardship at Wolves. He came out with and explained the best trait that I think I've ever had in a good manager. Right now, given your job, Chris, you probably know what makes a good leader and what doesn't. To me, this is one of the most important traits, and that is somebody who's more or less, they don't get too excited when something goes well and complacent, and they don't get too down when it goes badly or if your ball's up, right? They have your back, and they give you air cover, and that is pretty much what Connor Cody said about him in a football context.
Yeah.
So that's a really good thing to hear, in that he's a grown up. He's not going to just start throwing his toys around just because a half's gone bad or something like that. There's a monster inside there. He's got a fucking mean streak as well. You don't want him to lose his shit on your ass, do you? You don't want that to happen
on your ass.
On your ass. I think because and he's ruthless. We've seen that already. He didn't want to take James Ward-Prowse, so he didn't. And when they asked him about it, what really surprised me was his initial answer was, "Sorry," as if it was who? James Ward who?
Yeah.
And again, nothing against James Ward-Prowse, because another human being, absolutely fine. Don't have a go at him because it's the end of his career, and like it's the downward slope of his career, and he's literally got no pace or mobility now. So a better fit in that midfield is someone with legs like Magassa or Freddie Potts. It's been obvious to us for ages, but not obvious to the previous manager.
Yeah.
So yeah, he can see the wood for the trees. The big test will come, I guess, when Souček's fit again. Does he throw Souček in? He can't.
Well, I think the good thing is even because I still think Souček has something to bring to the West Ham team, certainly for certain types of games, certain styles of, football that we're going to be playing against an opposition and what have you. But the good thing is that we're not going to see Souček and JWP playing together in the same team again. And that in itself is a massive, massive plus, because at least alongside, if Souček plays, you're going to have someone that does have some legs, whether that's going to be Magassa or Potts or Fernandez, for instance. So I think that, that, like you say, that decision to drop JWP from the squad altogether, that's a pretty bold thing to do, because the easier thing for him to do would be, I'll put you on the bench. But he's like, no. I think he's, like you said, probably got that ruthless streak in him that says, I know what you're about, and you're not going to fit into my style of football. So what is the point of even having you on the bench if I have zero intentions of actually giving you any game time? Yeah. So I know it's harsh on James Ward-Prowse. And I feel sorry for him in that respect, that he's been outed so publicly in that respect. Yeah. But it's the right thing for West Ham. So he is not afraid to make the right decision at the right time. So I was delighted to see that. I have to be honest, when I saw the lineup, I was thinking, wow. And I knew beforehand, because the news was out early morning, right, that he was being dropped in the squad. But yeah, bold move, and I respect Nuno for doing that. I really do.
Yeah, I do too, because you've got to make decisions. What you're paid to do as a leader is make difficult decisions, right? That's it. That is really the job of a leader. What you're going to do next? Oh, we're going to do this. Yeah.
I'll tell you what always annoyed me with the JWP thing, and it was kind of banded out there a lot, was oh, he's really well liked in the dressing room. He's great, you know, for morale and, you know, all this kind of stuff. He's really popular. I mean, genuinely, I couldn't care less if he is, because all I care about, as will any West Ham fan care about, is what he's doing on the pitch and whether
Yeah.
he's delivering on the pitch. If he's not, then I couldn't care if he's the most popular geezer in the whole of the Premier League or the world. Doesn't care. I don't care at all. Why should that even matter? You need characters, you need leaders, of course you do. But I didn't really see that in him. I must be honest. I never saw a leader in James Ward-Prowse.
No. He clearly
right
did
thing.
because there was one thing that came out about he had his doubts about Jared. Now, you can have your doubts about a lot of people. You can't have your doubts about Jared. And if you're going to doubt, if you're going to call into question Jared's leadership on the pitch, because a lot of people have, a lot of fans have, but simply because he plays on the right wing, I think, and it's like not in the heart of the action of it. You know, it's crossed my mind before, but the one person you don't look to is James Ward-Prowse, and that's what I think he was doing. He was basically his on-field captain. He's the one when the sending off happened that he gave instructions to.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Honestly, it's right there in front of me now. I've got a great view.
It made me think. It made me think that, like, the way Potter was managing and playing James Ward-Prowse was if he was his kind of Iniesta, when, you know, Iniesta prime at Barcelona. You know, the guy that's going to be dictating play, you know, right in the middle of the park, shoring up, you know, all that kind of stuff. Like, he's not that player. I mean, there's not many players that like Iniesta, if any. But my point is, he was never good enough for us. You know, he was good when he first came to West Ham for that first sort of 10-game spell where he was getting quite a few assists. He was being quite effective when he was playing further forward. But you're not going to play him further forward. Not with some of the players that we have, right? You're not going to play him further forward than Paqueta, for instance. So for me, there was never going to be a space for him in the squad, let alone the team. You know, so I'm really delighted to see that. And as you pointed out, really, really delighted to see Freddie Potts finally get some game time, because I thought he came on, and that's what West Ham fans need, is a youngster to come into that team that we can get behind, because we love it. You know, at the end of the game, we're all singing he's one of our own and all that stuff, and you could see his face was beaming. He was loving it. And for a kid like that, you know, a kid like that coming into the first team, West Ham supporter since a kid, his old man being a bit of a West Ham legend as well. This means the world to him. And we all know that as supporters. And we will get behind people like that. We'll always get behind our players, but when you get a youngster coming through that has West Ham running through their blood, you're going to really, really get behind him. And I thought he put in a really good performance. And coincidentally, you know, I think he was also certainly a big part of why we actually got a point in that game, in my opinion. You know, I thought he did a really good job.
I think so as well. And the impressive thing about that, I mean, it's just a massive observation was, we didn't just collapse. You know, the roof didn't cave in like it did whenever we conceded against everyone else this season. The heads didn't go down, heads didn't drop. You know, we went off at half time. We got better and better after that goal and looked more solid. And then in the second half, we came out early, got sent out in the cold evening air to wait around for a couple of minutes, and then we're at it straight away. And for the last half hour of that game, there was only one winner if someone was going to nick it, right? And Everton are not a bad side. They're not a bad side.
No, they're a well-drilled team. They're a very well-drilled team. They're exactly what you expect David Moyes' team to typically be. You know, they've got the big lumps in the centre half. They've got a big lump up front in Beto. They've got a couple of pacey players in their team as well. But honestly, like, I think first half, in truth be told, I think Everton edged it in the first half. And, you know, being honest, we could have been 2 down. You know, we could have been 2 down at half time, but we weren't. You know, which is the main thing. So just 1 goal down at half time. Coming into the second half, I thought we were very, very good. And I must say, it's probably the best football I've seen West Ham play this season so far. That's not hard. That's not a hard thing to do, is it? But it was definitely the best I've seen us play this season as a team collectively. And I thought, you know, in particular, Jarrod Bowen, I thought was really good. Not so much in the first half, but he was working hard, but he weren't great. But second half, he really came alive. But, you know, El Hadj Magic Diouf.
Yeah, and, again, second half with Diouf, wasn't it? Second half when he came.
Electric, really, mate. Absolutely electric. That their fullback O'Brien, honestly, they had him on toast. I mean, the way that he was beating him for pace was the pace of that guy, honestly.
Well, what he did there to see how fast he is, right? What he did when he took Tarkowski out as well is he could see Tarkowski coming across. And this is how intelligent he is, right? Because he, rather than play the ball straight up the line where Tarkowski would have been able to get to it first, he's played it slightly out to the left at an angle to give Tarkowski another yard to run. And that was enough to he just fucking pissed him, didn't he? He just went past him like he weren't there, and the other geezer, O'Brien, and then put in another one of them delicious crosses from his magical left foot.
I'll
You
tell
know,
you that cross, right? If you watch that cross back, and I've watched it quite a few times since.
yeah,
I mean, the accuracy, it was almost pinpoint accuracy to Fulkrug. I mean, if you
yeah.
take that centre
It
half out of the
always is.
equation, it
It
was
always
landing
is.
on his head.
Yeah,
But to whip it in that, I mean, bearing in mind the pace that he's running at down that flank,
yeah.
and to whip that ball in the way he did, I mean, he's got one hell of a left foot on him. He does. So we need to really use that. I mean, that's got to be one of our tools to, hopefully hurt the
Oh,
opposition that we play, because
well, he's got 3 assists already. We're only 6 games in, right?
Mm,
You
mm,
know what else didn't add to his game? Because you bear in mind he's still young. Imagine what he's going to be like when he grows up. He's 21, right?
yeah, it's mad,
So,
isn't it? He don't look
yeah,
21,
so
that's for sure.
that's why he's a bit raw defensively, and he's going to make the odd
Mm,
fuck up defensively. But going forward, someone said to me the other night, it was John actually, KC. He said to me that run was like prime Gareth Bale, and it was the way he just stripped him. It really was.
yeah, you're not going to. I mean, honestly, if you go in a foot race against him, I can't think of many people that are going to be able to keep up with him. I genuinely can't. If he pings that ball 10 yards in front of him, no one's going to catch up. Honestly, no one is going to catch up. He is absolutely rapid. He must be the fastest player we've got in our team.
Well,
I'm sure he is.
England, Senegal, Bellingham tried to muscle him off the ball, failed, right? And then he tried to catch him, and he could nowhere near him. But the most impressive one on telly, because he just burst onto the scene, was it came out of the right side of the camera. It's like we didn't know he was running. Suddenly, this fucking like lightning. It was at full pelt. It was a few minutes after the goal. At full pelt, absolutely steaming down the wing. Did you see that? Well, you were
Yeah,
there.
no,
You
I
might have
watched the game, and I think also he had Bukayo Saka in his back pocket as well, and
Yeah.
that's quite a nice thing to think about. Bearing in mind we got Arsenal at the weekend, so
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, someone's in the chat said Diouf doesn't have to beat his man to put a cross in. Yeah, of course he doesn't have to beat his man, but I'll tell you what, if he wants to ping that ball 10 yards in front of him, other fullbacks are going to find it very hard to catch up with him because he's got a rapid pace. But
Yeah.
equally, that left hand side for us, I think he's probably one of our. It is our strength. I mean, for sure. After us seeing that Everton game, I thought Somerville was outstanding. For me, he was man of the match by far. I mean, if it wasn't for him,
he was different class. He really was.
he was, wasn't he? I mean,
Yeah,
the skill, the
yeah.
low center of gravity. I mean, he was exceptional, and he's one of those players that will get you off your seat, no
Yeah.
doubt about it. Because when he starts running at defenders don't like that. But as supporters, fucking love it, mate. And it was, yeah, I love to see players like that. Players, good old fashioned wingers, want to take on their fullback.
And meanwhile, sitting down in the dugout, well, it's not dugout, is it? That'd be insulting it. But on the Recaro seats was Nuno celebrating like the bloody fans. I like to see that. I like everything I've seen about Nuno. A quick word on Nuno. He's not really failed anywhere. The Spurs fans think he's failed there, but he didn't really get a chance. And his record weren't bad anyway. We'd take it. We'd take his record that he had at Spurs. It was only fucking 17 games or something ridiculous. He's done brilliantly at Forest, brilliantly at Wolves, brilliantly at wherever else he's gone. Saudi Arabia, he went to, won a league that they won for 14, 15 years or something like that. He's been successful wherever he's been, this geezer.
Yeah, I
Right.
mean, look, you could compare him to, I
Yeah.
don't know, Lopetegui or Potter at West Ham. It's like chalk and cheese.
Yeah.
So yeah, and honestly, for me, as I said the other day, style of football goes out the window, Gal. Of course, I want to see entertaining football and everything else, but right now we just need to get points. And
Yeah.
provided he can do that, and he's got, and I think me and Mike were going through this the other day. You look at the amount of games that we've got between now and the start of January, the opening of the transfer window, it's significant. So this period between now, throughout, up to past Christmas, shall I say, season defining stuff. So he's going to have his work cut out. He is, and I don't want to get too excited with the guy. I'm not excited. I was just really pleased with the level of performance actually on
Yeah. No,
on
we
Monday.
can't. It's only one game and it's a draw, right?
Exactly.
And you can put it down to a new manager bounce that we've never had, by the way. We've never had that. That doesn't happen at West Ham, so I don't want to give it a new manager bounce. But let's just quickly, we're at half time, so let's quickly go through the comments. WHU saying, what you saying? There's only one thing Sully's cares about, and that's money. He'd sell his kids if he got him more money. Yeah, absolutely he would. Be under no illusions about that whatsoever. Right, Kat said, I have to send ID proving my fake kids are over 16. So be careful if you buy extra tickets to that game. I don't know what game that is. I haven't been.
Brentford. Yeah, it's kids for £1 for Brentford, right? So a lot of
Yeah.
people are buying additional tickets because they can for £1. So
they're trying to find ways to shut it down, are they? Right, okay. Freedom Sounds says they actually cleaned the stadium for the first time since the Olympics since 2015. Who did? Them or the LLDC?
What do you mean they cleaned it? It's
So it's never been cleaned
don't
in
look clean
10
to me.
years.
Well, it just looks the same to me. I don't see any difference.
Well,
The only
no,
difference I have seen is
sorry,
that they basically kind of
he's
given
alluding to
us
the
a
fact it
lovely
was
beer
just
garden.
done. He's alluding to the fact it was just done, maybe. Let us know when that was, Freedom. Can I call you Freedom?
I
Cat
can give a
said-
toss. I can, mate. Sorry, just to address, I can give a toss. I mean, I'm sure that's a bit of a joke. Cleaning the fucking stadium, I don't give a fuck about that.
Well,
You know, let's clean the club and get Sullivan out first. That's the cleaning we need to do, not the
that is
stadium.
exactly right. That is exactly right. Cat says, yeah, full clean, full steam clean, deep clean. Get them out. Just as a heads up, they're clever. I was not allowed to enter the Leeds ballot because they put a hold on my account due to
Oh,
buying
wow.
4 tickets for the under 18 Brentford game. Oh, every dirty trick in the book. One thing that that I thought was quite pertinent was at the Brentford game, say somebody who's a season ticket holder decides to go, they would have paid on average for their ticket 40 quid, 35 quid, something like that, depending where they sit. Could be sitting next to someone who got their ticket for 15. That's great, isn't it?
I know, it's a piss take. It's actually a piss take, isn't it? Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Claire says the media don't want to be in the pockets anymore. No, they don't. Too much chat about certain people will make the media turn. Yeah, look, what we got to do is we got to be clever about this. You know, we can't, when somebody has a go at the fans, we can't react with fury and start slagging them off and whatever else, right? Got to try and convince that person, yeah, with proper argument. And eventually, a lot of people have understood the message and the reasons now totally, and they're literally for all of those that have suddenly turned against these owners. The heart of their argument is about how unsuitable that stadium is. So that is message delivered, right? Message delivered and repeated. There's no way that Brady can go out now and say what a fabulous stadium and a fabulous success it is. She can't. It's irrelevant.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like,
of course it is.
yeah. Everyone knows it's bollocks. John Hicks, them two, Sullivan Brady, will fuck the club up like they did with Birmingham. Well, they will if they give them a chance, but let's get them out first and see what's left behind. Love to see, says Ian, Magassett and Potts holding on Saturday, and Fernandez attacking the lines, Paqueta and Marshall up front. I don't want to see 2 holding midfield players. I must admit, I think it takes away an attacking option. It's got to be Potts or Magassett.
Yeah,
when you look at Magassett, what he does well, in a bit of detail, because I didn't see it the other night, other than he got a bit better as the game went on and he had a bit of a shaky first 20 minutes. But don't forget how old he is, 20, right? He's a youngster. That was a bloody good performance for when he grew into the game. It was a bloody good performance for what he does. And what he does is he's got an amazing engine. He's got the ability to cover wide, right, because of that amazing engine. And he's got a very, very good sense of when to tackle and intercept. He reads play really well, right? This is a player who, if he fulfills his potential, could be world class, right? That's basically.
I mean, that's some statement, Nigel. I've got to tell you,
if he fulfills his potential, Chris.
Yeah, no, I get
he
that.
Might not. Yeah.
My opinion on Magassa is, I thought initially, I just thought he looked a little bit off the pace. That's my honest. I thought he looked off the pace. He wasn't used to the kind of, the pace of the Premier League. I think his awareness at times, so he got caught on a few occasions with the ball. And I was thinking, Christ, this guy needs to get with it a little bit. And he did step up his game and he improved and his performance got better as the half went on.
Yeah, it was early on.
Fernandez was a little bit shaky actually in the first half. I thought they both were at stages, but
yeah,
I don't know.
First 20 minutes, Magassa wasn't very good. Right after that, he improved massively. He got through it, and he got through a hell of a lot of work, and he made a number of tackles and interceptions. He was popping up in the right place. But when you haven't got people with an engine like that, you're either susceptible down the wings or in the middle, right? Where because they can't cover both sides. Fernandez has got the ability to do that as well when he has to. What you saying says.
I'll tell you what, mate. Magassa and Fernandez are going to have to be fucking switched on against against Arsenal on Saturday. They really are, because it's not going to be. I mean, it's going to be a lot tougher, as we know. Of course, it's going to be a lot tougher playing against Declan Rice, than it will be playing against, like the likes of Garner and Gabe, like what we'll be playing against, against Everton. So, I think hopefully Magassa can start getting used to the pace of the Premier League. But this is going to be a huge test for him if he does play against Arsenal on Saturday. Yeah. I'm actually in two minds whether I'd play him or not. In truth, I want to, but there's also part of me that's worried to. But then I would play him over Ward-Prowse. So what other options do you have? It's either Potts or Magassa, right? Those
Oh,
aren't the only options.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Nuno's going to be a better judge of that than me. He did want Magassa for his team for Forest, though. So that's a
True.
good sign. But the thing is, attributes wise, I'm not getting carried away. But what gets forgotten with certain, like a youngster comes into a team like Brighton and they end up being a superstar and then they get sold for megabucks. That doesn't happen immediately, right? If you get a youngster and you bring them into the team, they don't always set it alight. Takes them, they might have to be dropped a few times and brought back a few times and dropped a few times, brought back a few times because they're young and they're getting used to it. He's come from the French league.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, of course, you need to give him time, and I get that. But playing him, I suppose when you're playing against an Arsenal, do you go with something that you feel has experience that you can? But then we don't have that, do we?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but we don't have that though, Gary. That's the point. We don't have experience of
Yeah.
someone that we can trust playing in that holding role. Because I wouldn't play Guido against Arsenal. You're asking for fucking trouble doing that. So
maybe
it's only one of the two, isn't it? Potts or Magassa.
it is, but maybe whoever said that just now about playing both of them as a double pivot for Arsenal, maybe that is the answer for Arsenal, specifically because they're dangerous. I don't know.
Yeah, but you play that though, Gal, then that's going to be a complete low block game where we're going to be sat in our third of the pitch. Yeah, exactly. And we don't want to be doing that because you've got the likes of Rice, Zubimendi that are going to basically take the piss out of us. They will.
Let's get to the end of these comments anyway. What you're saying says, I love West Ham. Think we should have built a new stadium at the Bowling. Yeah, of course we should have, but we should have finished the stadium at the Bowling, right? Apparently, all it took was an injection of money because the council wanted Sullivan to buy the land because that bus carriage was closing down to rebuild that other side to make it a 45,000 and perfect stadium because it would have brought it in tighter again. Imagine what that would have been like. It'd have been like the old ground, but bigger, like the original old ground, but bigger, really close to the pitch. There is a picture at the top of that article, by the way, which is one of the most beautiful pictures of the West Ham ground under floodlights taken from the outside that I've seen in ages. It's worth looking at the article just for that. His post-match interview was great. Every interview that he does, Claire, is great. He speaks really well. He gives me confidence. Under Moyes, we're great at scoring from set pieces. Yeah, I know, but I don't want to talk about Moyes. Claire has fractured her hand. 3 hairline fractures. Teach you to have a slippy bathroom, Claire. Hope he gets well soon. By the way, my son had an operation. He broke his femur. Bad break, but they fixed it on Tuesday. So it's been a hell of a week, actually. He was up on his feet again tonight. He actually, with a frame, because that's what they start you with before you move on to crutches. They got him. He actually managed to get across the room and sat on a chair and said it was sort of all right, painful, but all right. And that's the most progress he's made. So fingers crossed. That wasn't the physio because the physio didn't turn up in the afternoon, such as Queen's Hospital, Romford. It was his mate who helped him do it. There you go. It's like bring your own care in the NHS now. They didn't clean him for a week, so basically, give it a couple of days, it ain't going to happen. So ended up taking care of it. You got to take care of it yourself, right? It's amazing.
Well, hopefully he'll come home tomorrow anyway, Gal. And
well, let's hope so.
Yeah,
let's hope so. Yes, Ian Smith, Todibo's a big bloke. Yes, he is. Nuno's not stupid. Hopefully, we'll cash in. I think he's out of here. By the way, talking about Hermansen and JWP, the poisonous owner sent out basically a character assassination on both of them the other day. You can't do that. What are you devaluing your own players for? I mean, you're an idiot or what? I mean, just play the guy up. Say what a great keeper he is when you're trying to sell him. If you've already written that you think he's a bit crap, how much are you going to get for him?
Yeah, well, I mean, in fairness, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to work out how crap he has been. I mean, he's been awful since he started, 3 games that he played for West Ham.
He really has. Claire said Nuno's been working with the academy coaches and said he loves that as they know the players so well, which is brilliant. It's a brilliant way to start. Perhaps that's the way every manager should start, because in the break after the Arsenal game, the 2-week break, that is when his coaches come in. I'm sure that helped with Potts being picked for Everton. I'm pretty sure as well. But he saw Potts at his best there. Really, really good. Really good. Potts v Rice. Oh, Rice.
What was that thing you said to me earlier today about Potts and Rice?
Yeah, gonna have rice inside a pot, aren't we? A pot of rice. Could we? Right. So Rich 66 could have won it towards the end. Everton fan. You're right, Rich. How you doing? You like it?
Oh, I tell you, we could have, Rich,
We like
because
your ground. You
Christ,
wanna swap?
did you see that chance where the ball got whipped into the box and Fulkrug and Guilherme basically clashed with each other? It was so frustrating. So frustrating. Maybe that's just because them two aren't used to be playing with each other. I don't know, but that was the chance. I mean, that particular spell was the one where we could have grabbed that second goal, that elusive winner, and we would have gone home ecstatic. But you know, upon reflection, I think a draw was a fair result. It was a fair result, and I was happy with that point.
Yeah. Colin Kuhn says, disagree on Bowen. Yeah, I thought Bowen had a really bad first half and a decent second half. I wouldn't go further than decent. It was a great finish, but that is the standard finish of Bowen. If you play him out wide, cuts in on his left foot, puts it in the far corner, does it every time. He's so reliable.
Seen it a million times, mate. That finish, it's like textbook Bowen, isn't it? It really is.
They know what's coming. The keeper knows what's coming when he steps inside like that, right? They do. Freedom Sounds says, I like the way Nuno says he's keeping the academy staff alongside him for now. Yeah. Nobody knows the club better than them. Well, that's true. One of them used to be a captain at the club. Freddie Potts' dad. Ray says, we got better because there was a plan B. Yes, all game. Nuno was back and forth working out what the team needed. So I can't wait for the next home game. Well, I can, because the next home game I won't be there. But the home game after that, where I can get a close-up view of Nuno. You know, because he does seem, like I said, the other guy was like perpetual motion the other week. Forget what manager it was now, but it was the Spurs boss, Frank. Did not stop. He was actually telling the team what to do. He was giving them instructions of where to stand, and you know, for every set piece, he was giving like signals of who should do what. Potter stood there, his arms folded.
Well, it's some interesting stats here, right? So I'm just reading this off my phone, just a post I saw earlier on.
Yeah.
So against Everton, bear in mind, obviously Nuno's first game, West Ham registered more shots than the club has made in any single game this season, right? So we got 14 shots on goal, you know, against Everton. We also registered more penalty area entries in 32, more touches in the opposition box, 29, more tackles, 16, more recoveries, 49, possession won 40 times, right? And we showed more attacking intent in that game than we have in any single game we played this season. Now, that you could say is representative of maybe a new manager bounce, quite possibly. But what it's telling me is this is kind of going down to the core philosophy of what Nuno is saying in terms of that working hard, you know, making sure that we're aggressive, you know, we're hard to beat. All those things that he's been saying, we're strong, we're brave.
Yeah.
That was really, really nice to read that. And I didn't realize, you don't realize these things at the time, but when you read those stats, it's like, those are the kind of stats to me that mean something, not the stats where it's like, well, and I read this as well. James Ward-Prowse has been one of your most, you know, effective players because his pass completion rate is like 99.9% or something stupid, right? It says, yeah, because he passes it backwards and sideways all the time, right? But those sort of stats you can't hide away from. They are actually stats that can make a significant difference in a game, not the stats where you talk about pass completion rate when someone's passing it backwards and sideways all the time.
Code Red, Gaza 80. Gary, read it today because brilliant piece. He was the writer that said Sullivan had his hands in the till on the Sunday supplement. Has anyone got that clip? I've never seen it. What did he say? Can you remember what he said? And can you remember when it was? What Sunday supplement it was? Date-ish. If anyone's got a link to it, it'd be marvelous. But yeah, so I think, listen, it was a great performance by certain people. I think Mavropanos made the fuck up, but he also did a lot of clearances. He made the fuck up, but it was primarily Diouf's man. And for the second phase, Diouf forgot the man. But I'm going to let Diouf off because he's so magnificent. He can do what he likes.
Well, you know, like Diouf, to be fair, he had a couple of stray passes in the first half. That was quite frustrating, you know, but overall, he was exceptional against Everton, particularly second half. But I think with regards to that goal that we conceded, and I think it's important that we do talk about it because we haven't yet. I mean, once again, from another cross, right? That initially was a corner, right?
We switched off for phase two. We cleared. It's like we were celebrating the achievement of getting the ball away and not conceding. And then the ball came in again. It's like, oh, hang on a minute. Literally, yes, Diouf lost his man, but Mavropanos should have realised there was a danger and he should have pushed.
We gave him too much space, and this is the thing. It was a lack of aggression and a lack of will and desire. I mean, he switched off, and he should be getting so much more tighter to Keane at that particular moment. Got to say that it was a cracking header, but we shouldn't be giving him that much time, and that's the point. And I think against Arsenal, that's going to be one of our biggest threats is crosses, set pieces, you know, all those sort of things, because we know they're really good at that. We know they're really good at that. I mean, you see, Declan Rice on corner kicks now. We're going to have to make sure we defend that on Saturday for sure.
Look at that comment. I heard he likes to shower with the players.
Nuno.
He likes to get little Nuno or big Nuno out to shower with the players. Show the daddy is, Chris. Show the daddy is. Check this out. Check this out.
That's
boys.
old school, isn't it?
Yeah. JWP, put soap on my back. Right, scrub me down.
Mate, 125 grand a week, I'd do that. He's still I think he's still our second or third highest paid player at West Ham. What a joke that is.
Type in with one hand. You have to boot people out with one hand. You're supposed to be on security clear. You know, under Moyes, we were great at scoring from set pieces and stopping them. That's the one I just put up. Let's see what else new we got, because I'm way. And I've caught up again now. So where are we going? Rich 66, yeah, on fair result. Yeah, it was a fair result, wasn't it? The tea lady is very popular, but she's not playing centre midfield.
Going to Rich's comment, by the way, obviously I'm assuming you are an Everton fan, right? But I must say, what a cracking stadium that is. I mean,
it's a different class.
It's such a nice stadium, and it's a shame because trying to build an atmosphere there, I get it, it's hard. I mean, we had the same problems at London Stadium, but one thing I will say is that when you do get to that point where you can build an atmosphere at the what's the name? I called it the Dick Stadium. No disrespect, but it's easy for me to remember that.
That's the worst thing about it is the naming rights. It's a solicitors firm. Should have been something far more spectacular than that.
Oh yeah. It's
a good solicitors firm.
It's a bit of a naff name, but the stadium in itself, right? Once you can start building an atmosphere there, it will contain it, and you could feel that because just before kickoff, when I went out, and sort of stood where I was, there was an atmosphere building, and it felt like you could really hear it echoing around the ground. And I thought, fuck me, like if this ground comes alive, that is going to be an incredibly intimidating place to play. But it's going to take them time to get that because. Honestly, the atmosphere was really poor from the Everton fans, and I get it because you're sitting in new seats. It's a whole new environment for you. But I must admit, I was jealous of that stadium. I was really jealous. It was lovely, really nice.
It is nice. It's what clubs should do, right? It's what they should do if they had any respect for their fans whatsoever. Hey, Sally, I don't understand why people. Well, look, it's opinions. I mean, he had to cover the entire pitch, yes. Yeah, but no. First off, I'll tell you what it is with Bowen and me, and same with Paqueta. I've got such a high bar of expectation for them that when they don't nudge that bar, when they don't chin that bar, I think they've had a substandard game because you know what they are capable of, right?
Yeah, I think certainly with Paqueta, actually, he was a bit quiet. But look, you're going to get that. They're not going to be, they're not going to be exceptional every single game, are they? They're not.
Hang on. We found a flaw in Diouf's game the other night. Geezer can't throw.
Oh, yeah. What's that all about? Yeah. It's not only that. Every time he takes a throw in, quite frequently, looks like it's a foul throw. Fred keeps pointing it out to me, but there was one that he tried to throw into the box. And I don't know if it slipped out of his hand, but it went about 5 yards in front of him. Don't know if you saw that on telly, but I was looking. I was like, what the fuck's that? Hopefully he didn't mean to do that.
Hang on a minute. Stupid comment in a night award goes to Pierre Leton. Bowen becoming the new Souček, doing nothing. Much, but scoring important goal from nowhere. What?
Don't know about that. He works his bollocks off every game, and it may not be noticed, but he does.
He does. Yeah, he never ever. No, I mean, look, and he was still dangerous. Paqueta's performance worried me. Yeah, look, the thing is about this system is it suits Paqueta down to the ground. I'm pretty sure he'll come good. No, I don't think we sell Paqueta in January. I don't think we sell any decent asset this side of summer. We let go the people who are a waste of time, like Todibo. We've got plenty to sell, right? James Ward-Prowse, can we find a new home for him?
James Ward-Prowse is gone, right? He's done now. There's no way that situation is going to repair itself, and I'm glad that it won't. But I would suspect that probably Todibo, although maybe he might want to see what he's about, maybe his attitude, because apparently he's got an attitude problem. He was turning up for training late, all this stuff, right? But maybe Nuno might get, might get something out of him. Who knows? But I would imagine that, Todibo, James Ward-Prowse, who else? Guido Rodriguez, all of those players are going to go. So hopefully that can free up funds and, free up the wage bill to bring in some more players. Players that actually are going to get game time.
Yeah. By the way, what you're saying, I disagree with this. I'm sorry, Kilman needs to go. Guido and JWP and Fulkrug. Well, no, Fulkrug actually did all right as a hold-up man the other night. He was just doing it's not going to look spectacular. The same as we used to get frustrated with Antonio when he did it.
He
right?
was poor, Gal. Sorry, I've got to disagree.
No,
I thought Fulkrug was very poor against Everton. You know,
he,
his hold-up play was pretty shit. You know,
it's not great,
no, it wasn't. It was poor, Gal. It was
but we
genuinely
can't.
very poor.
But we can't sell him unless we bring in
No,
another striker, right?
yeah, I agree. I agree.
Even
It was
then,
just a
we
bad
should.
game. It was just
Yeah,
a poor
yeah,
game for Fulkrug. I'm not
yeah.
writing him off as a player. I still think there's a player
Oh,
in him, but I just don't think he had a good game against Everton. That's all.
did you know you saying the other night? Callum Wilson didn't come on, did he?
No, and I thought he would do because I thought it was Fulkrug.
Yeah.
I thought it was time up for Fulkrug at one point. I thought, why are we not bringing Wilson on for at least like 15,
Yeah.
20 minutes? Didn't really make
But
a great deal of sense
those
to me.
I'm going to give Kilman another life. I don't think he's a £40 million player, by the way. Don't get me wrong. We overpaid Wolves massively, laughing their tits off at us. But he was really good alongside Connor Cody, as I said earlier, in the heart of Wolves' defence. He needs a leader next to him, a physical, dominant, tall, big lump leader, someone that's going to have his back.
Wait a minute. Wait, what about your magnificent Mavropanos that you're always banging on about, mate? Is
You
he
know
not the
what?
guy? Is he not
I
your guy
lost
anymore?
his shit about him the other night. I think he's worth probably, now the bet's not on anymore, he's probably worth about 14.5 million.
You've
Right.
heard it here
Because
first. Finally.
I lost my shit with him the other night because
Yeah.
honestly, every time he makes a fuck up, he costs us a goal. And that mistake he nearly made at the end of the game where he just should have put it in row Z.
Right on the edge of the area as well.
What the fuck are you doing? So finally,
Yeah.
it was not magical or magnificent Mavropanos the other night. It was a fucking liability, right?
As he has been many times, but you know,
Yeah.
we work with what we've got, and we haven't got a great deal of options right now, sadly.
Yeah, but again, everyone gets a new life as far as I'm concerned, apart from Ward-Prowse. And Souček to me is a bench player. He's for emergencies, right? And Souček won't like being a bench player. He'll ask to leave. He'll go back to Moyes, right? Dio's skin and defense, says Ray. Reminded me of that Gareth Bale run. It was fucking immense. Yes, it was. And the cross at the end of it, sublime. Yes.
Yeah, there was some posts on social media comparing like those two clips actually.
Yeah. Yeah. JWP, another Kumbaya merchant. No, listen, honestly, if they want to sing Kumbaya, each their own, eh? Each their own. Nothing against religion. I was raised a Catholic myself. I don't go to church now, but you know, people usually peace-loving people, aren't they? Into community and all that shit. Magassa grew into the game. Yes, he did, Claire. That's it. You give it to Chris.
Yeah, you need to catch up, mate. You're way behind. I thought you were catching up with your chats, and I'm just scrolling through this now, and you're way behind.
I'll go to the bottom. I'll go to the bottom.
Yeah.
Bodger fractured his hand once. How did you do that, Bodge? How did Bodger? Tell me, people in the chat. How do you think Bodger fractured his hand? JWP to Luton.
No, the fact that Southampton, right, like apparently are coming in for him says it all in terms of his levels and his ability as a player now, right? I mean, do you honestly think that another Premier League team's going to come in for him? No, because most teams will know that he's not a Premier League player anymore. You know, you need pace, you need physicality. He doesn't have any of those things.
There's never anything more true than this from Ted the Hammer. Chris Toddy has got an attitude. Fuck me, he's got an attitude problem. I mean, the geezer's overweight, doesn't look after himself. Turns up when he likes. I mean, I think he thinks he came to a holiday camp, the West Ham United holiday camp, the branch of Butlins. Probably looking for the pool. There ain't one. I'll tell you what, though, I was in a WhatsApp group the other night. We're talking about the game as it's going on, and I like to think because he's got mad eyes, Nuno, right? I like to think he's a bit of a threatening character behind the scenes when he loses shit. I like to think he told Todibo to report to his office at 5:30 the following morning. And then Nuno got in about 8:30, right? It's sitting out there, and all that's in front of him is a big picture covering the wall of Nuno's eyes staring at him. And then when he's eventually invited in, Nuno's sitting there in like a smoking jacket and a cigarette holder, smoky room, and read the right act to him, you know? So maybe Todibo's going to behave himself now, or maybe that didn't happen. Maybe I dreamt it.
Sometimes you just need to get the right type of manager in there and get a tune out of a player. You know, it happens all the time. We've seen certain players that can't play under certain managers. You know, they have a lack of discipline, which is not great, right? They shouldn't be like that anyway. They're professional football players, but sometimes you get the right leader in, it can change. So I won't rule him out. I would definitely not rule him out yet. I still think that there is a player in there if he gets himself fit and his attitude changes.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think he did absolutely look like a player at times. But then he just stopped playing, lose concentration. I mean, he's worse than Mavropanos because he's got such a price tag. I think that what you're saying says I think train the wing backs to whip it in like Diouf. Honestly, that is a talent that's born from a cultured left footer such as myself, right? How you saying you can teach, you know?
The youth was a left winger, right? He was a left winger before, and then he's been reverted to a full back.
No,
right?
but
So
honestly, the way he strikes the ball, that is muscle memory learned over fucking years. It's not just crossing the ball. The way he does it, you know, he puts it exactly where he wants to put it. Again, that's a comparison with Bale. But, you know, you look back at Beckham, it's the way he struck the ball as well, right? With sometimes if you want the thing to drop quickly, you give it a, you know, a little bit more topspin because they kind of feel exactly what they need to do with a ball. They do it. He's one of them, right? He's one of them.
I like
He
this
will bring
comment here.
goals.
The youth is that quick and get on the end of his own crosses.
Yeah. Diouf crosses to Diouf. He one thing he will
You've
bring
got two
to
left
the
feet
game,
as well, Gal. Two left feet you got, mate.
I've got two left feet, but my left one is far stronger than my right left. You see what I mean?
Yeah, kind of, I think, yeah.
I don't see what I mean. Yes, what I was going to say is at his last club, which was Czech League, lower standard, but the raw materials were there, he scored regularly, Diouf, with his marvellous left foot. So that's coming, right? That's coming. He started to almost produce the performances in the Premier League that he was producing in the Czech League down the left. His crosses, he's got 3 assists in 6 games. Fuck's sake, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. He'll get games. He will get games. Yeah,
Goals will come, and then he'll be right. About 100 million.
Yeah, one of the best stadiums. You're right. Yeah, I thought that as well. I said that on that little mini vlog I did. One of the best ones. You know, is it all safe standing? I don't know. Don't know. Safe standing. What does safe standing actually mean specifically when you've got bars and everything else, right? Is that what it means?
Yes. You've got those things behind you that are kind
of. Yeah, of course. Yeah, what? I don't even remember. Yeah, honestly, I've got a brain like a sieve. Yeah, of course. Yes, it is safe standing. Flipping it, what a moron. Yeah, it is. It is.
You expect the answers straight away, you know.
Mate, I don't really. It's weird. It's like by default, you kind of go to your seat and you just stand up and you watch the game. But I was just thinking, what was I doing with my hands? And I remember, I did have them on a bar. So yes, it is safe standing. Yeah, it is, and it's a lovely stadium. Yeah,
I actually don't mind standing up in the safe standing seats because you've got somewhere to lean on. I love it. Right.
As long as it's cushioned, presumably, yeah. So you've got a cushion, like kind of like padded bars you can hold on to.
Chris, you know that. You know that.
With your name on it as well. A little plaque of your name on it as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I've got 2. I've got my name on both seats. Gary 2 seats.
Really? You didn't get Ross's name on it, no?
No, because his tickets over the other side, and I had to buy them in my name. So I got 3 seats in my name now. DF and AWB missing in January. That's assuming AWB comes back in the first place. We have got KWP, so that's not such a big deal. But on the left-hand side, that is a bit of a big deal, isn't it?
Yeah, but hold up, right? So anyway, yeah, January. But with regards to who's available for the game on at the weekend, everyone is fit. Everyone apart from George Earthy. That's what Nuno said today in his press conference.
He's injury prone. George Earthy must be back. He's quite injury prone.
He's out for about 6 weeks. Yeah, out for about 6 weeks apparently. So yeah, it appears that way.
Smiling assassin. He is a smiling assassin. I like to think he's got a body count. You know, just saying.
Yeah, yes, but
no one can confirm that he hasn't. Right. Back to ground zero on.
Do you know what that means now? Do you know what body count means now, Gal? Right. So
people you murdered, don't it?
No. It means something different nowadays, and I've only realised.
It's sexual now, isn't it?
How many people you slept with? So when you said that about Nuno's got some body count,
well, he probably has got a high body count.
Honestly, yeah. Who knows?
Yeah. So if he's that quick, he can get any of his own crosses. You've done that already. Nuno has presence. Yes, he does. I mean, it's just he's got a good pitch to his voice. He speaks perfect English, very slowly and deliberately. He pronounces things properly. Doesn't rush it out, but he speaks 4 languages, which suggests that he's quite intelligent, right? He speaks French, Spanish, English, Portuguese. Yeah. So he can speak. He can absolutely slag off to Debo in his mother tongue. That's the beautiful thing about it, right? So, right.
One thing actually I want to say about Nuno, and actually I think a few people have commented about Kilman as well, that they would want to get rid of him. Perhaps Nuno is the type of manager to get the best out of Kilman, because he has managed him before and he gave him his chance at Wolves, so he will know his game.
That's what I meant to say in that last comment. Got diverted, right? That is the best football he's played. Kilman is under him. So and he played well the other night. Kilman, he didn't play badly. The goal weren't his fault for once.
My only problem not my only problem, I've had a lot of problems with Kilman, but one thing that does
Yeah.
frustrate me with him a lot is the fact that he holds the ball too long. It's like he slows it down. You know, when you want to move that ball quickly, move it from, you know, the left to the right or whatever. Let's say you pass it to Kilman and he starts faffing around 2, 3, 4
Yeah.
touches and then he makes the pass. I want to see quicker. I just want to see him making those passes quicker so he knows what he's going to do with it before he gets the ball. You know, it's all about awareness. And that does frustrate me sometimes. It's like, come on, just speed it up a little bit.
He was, though, when he first arrived, he was passing quickly. Don't forget he's a futsal champion, right? Darren Smith, do you think will be better at defending corners? Bloody got to be, haven't we, Darren? I mean,
let's find out this weekend, Darren, because this will be the test. This will be the test because Arsenal get a shit ton of corners.
And what they did to us, I remember as if it was yesterday, right? Watching the home game where we got embarrassed against Arsenal last year.
Sorry. You just put this comment up here, and I'm like, so Darren's saying he's fractured both cheekbones and dislocated his jaw all at once.
Ouch.
How on earth did you do that? Like, genuinely, how did you do that? I'm really interested. Yeah, sorry,
God. Yeah. Well, Skulls, you said, Jason. Well, the one thing Skulls don't offer is pace, but yeah, I mean, he's the cover, obviously. I think we will miss the pace. Clearly, we will. You know, we didn't look much better, but Kilman seems more aggressive. Well, yeah. I mean, let's hope so. Let's hope so.
This is the comment of the night. Comment of the night here. Ready? From Pierre Letom. Sully's body count is 66,000. He's fucked us all. So true. Brilliant comment, that.
Yeah, that's a great comment. Is Everton slowly getting Moyes? I believe so. I mean, sadly, you know, I quite like Moyes now he's gone. You know, now he's managed something else. But it is a. Yeah, I mean, there's going to come a time when he's short on players and he reverts to type and goes into a low block for 90 minutes, right? When he's got a few attacking players injured. This is the thing. This is the trend. If you're still watching, you know Moyes more than me, but this is the modern Moyes, not the one that you had. What he did with us is when he was missing a few attacking players and he couldn't play them, he put defensive players into the team and it sort of worked. So he left them there, right? And it was double pivot from that point on, wasn't it, Chris? I mean, literally double pivot for the whole bloody time he was here for that last period.
Yeah, let's not go there. Let's not go there.
Yeah.
Just an answer to Darren's comment about how he fractured cheekbones and dislocated his jaw. So you have epilepsy. So that's harsh. That sounds harsh, mate.
Right.
Yeah. Jesus, mate. Well, hopefully you're not going to have too many more accidents like that. Christ, I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of damage, mate.
That is a lot of damage. Right. Body Count, great band. Nuno thinks so as well. Everton fans booed the team at the end of the game. Yeah, it's a bit early for that, isn't it? But again, look, I'm not going to criticise other fans. They can boot what they like. It's their team. They can judge their team. I can't.
They're doing all right, Everton. I mean, come on. They're not doing that bad. I mean, they've not even lost at their new gaff yet. They've done all right against us.
The thing is, though, I get it because you got a new
gaff.
You're probably paying more money. You probably expect a little bit more against the team that's second from bottom, right? So, you know, I mean, it's not his fault we turned up and played well, is it? Gary, is your alarm gone off?
Yeah.
8:04.
Yeah, let's get moving, Gal. Let's get moving. I'll tell you, right? So we should talk about Arsenal at the weekend, right? How do you kind of expect that one to go? This is going to be this is going to be our biggest test yet, right? It will be.
I honestly can't see us get anything out of this. But I don't think they're going to have it all their own way. I don't think we're going to go there and collapse and get battered. I do see a narrow defeat. But I tell you what, because we're away from home where we tend to play better anyway, because I believe in the power of Nuno and his steely stare, I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw? Oh, yeah. Mate, I would take that. I would take that. Right,
Claire's comment came up the minute I said that. The second I said that.
Yeah, you're in sync with each other. Yeah, 2-2 would be a great result. You know, Arsenal, but they played last night, didn't they? They played last night, and I do think sometimes playing, as we know, when you're playing in Europe midweek and then you've got another game at the weekend, it does take its toll. But bear in mind, we're only in October, so it shouldn't be. I don't think there'll be that unfit or anything like that. They dropped Declan Rice as well last night, so I think they're holding him back for this game at the weekend.
Oh God, that's all we want. That's all we want. But look, very quickly, what do you guys in the chat think is going to be? Bodger says 3-2 to them. Football's a funny old game. Look, one of the best. that was the best performance under Potter for me away to Arsenal. I loved it, and it was mainly because Kudus was in the mood as well, and the whole team were in the mood, and we were expected to lose, and we didn't. We went there and turned them over at Cantor in the end.
We do well at their ground, though. We do. We've got a decent record there. So, I mean, you never know. You never know. I don't know what to. I don't know what to predict for this. I really don't. I mean,
you've got to predict though. You know it's going to be 3-1. Just what way? Ted Diama says years ago in Southend, I hit the side of a taxi, went over the bonnet, hit the windscreen, and went to Romford Brain Unit. I had bleeding on the brain for a week. Bloody hell, Ted. That is significant. Well, glad you pulled through. So that's, well, of course I'm glad you pulled through, you know what I mean? But that's bloody, you've done well to come back from that, is what I meant to say.
Yeah, sounds nasty. Sounds really nasty.
Can't see where we get 2 goals from our, well, Bowen will get 1, obviously. So that's just who's going to get the other one. It's about time Fulkrug's good.
Oh God, it is, isn't it? He desperately needs a goal.
Yeah.
He desperately needs a goal. I mean, I actually predicted a draw against Everton. I said 2-2, didn't I? Got that right. Well, not the result, but the actual scoreline.
My theory, by the way, on Kilman, Max Kilman, is that up until now we've been using, think about a bit of software, right? Kilman, we've been using the Kilman trial version, but Nuno bought the license key with him and he's enabled the full Kilman version.
Oh my God, he's unlocked. He's unlocked Prime Kilman, is that what you're saying?
Prime Kilman. So we'll see on Saturday, won't we? And Mavropanos, got to be honest, whenever he plays against Arsenal, which is once away, that night he scored and he was magnificent against Ogbono. Do you remember?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. He was amazing. That was his best game for us, I think. Actually,
he's got a point to prove because they rejected him, right? Obviously.
Yeah. I think. By the way, I'm going to remember that comment you just made about Nuno unlocking Prime Kilman for this weekend, because that could completely backfire.
I'm not saying it's true, Chris. I'm just putting it out there. It could be true. It could
I'm just saying, don't backtrack, mate.
Yeah.
Don't backtrack.
No, I'm backtracking. I'm just saying it's just a rumor I heard.
I'm going to go with I'm just going to say it now. I'm going to say Arsenal 3, West Ham 1. I think they're going to beat us 3.
Always 3-1. Always 3-1.
I just have a feeling. I didn't say 3. I haven't said 3-1 for probably the last 4 or 5 games.
This is it. Yeah. We've actually won there 2 seasons in a row, haven't we? Mavropanos and Ogbono. That was just a wonderful night, an amazing night, and he was brilliant that night. That was when he rose like the beautiful Greek salmon he was at that point, and put it top out of reach of the keeper. If it shows some guts, that would do it for me. Yeah, commitment is all it's all about. We'll be leaving at half time, Chris.
No, man. No,
Danny. Don't leave away games at half time, dear. That's heavy.
Danny, I'll tell you, my record now is getting pretty decent. So I'm
1-0.
That's pretty confident.
That's more.
Yeah.
Hopefully a Rice own goal. That'd be nice. Or just let Jared have a free header like he did last year. That'd be brilliant.
I've got no hate for Rice. I don't.
Me neither. I genuinely we shouldn't boo him. We shouldn't boo him. When you look back at the damage that's happened to this club since we had to fucking sell him, I mean, God, it shows how important and how good he was.
Yeah, and honestly, you can't blame the guy. Looking at it objectively, you can't blame the guy for wanting to go to a club where he was hoping to win things. I know it's not worked out that way, but
he's not a West Ham fan. He was raised a Chelsea fan, right? So yeah, you got to. Like your party, like the style of Chris's Everton vlog. Yeah, the quick speed vlog. He's been doing a few of those lately. Because I think whether you win or whether you lose, it's an easy watch, isn't it?
I'll tell you what, though, right? So I must admit, doing the longer vlogs, it's a bit of a faff. I was saying to Danny and some others on Monday, it's a bit of a faff, and shoving cameras in people's faces and saying, "Oh, what do you think the score's going to be?" and all that stuff. Yeah, it's a bit much, but I like those kind of like 1 or 2 minute vlogs because it's so easy. You just kind of get your camera out, film a little bit, and then you do your voiceover stuff in terms of how you were feeling at that moment, and that's it. It's so much more easier. But thank you. Yeah,
have a look back through the comments to see if I've missed Gaza's response, Gaza 80's response about that Sunday supplement thing, because it looks like Geraint Pagden has said if an agent is paying cash back to the board, it's tax deductible. Well, yeah, of course, this is tax deductible if he's paying cash back. Oh. So it benefits the agent as well as the receiver. And if that receiver I'm not saying that's the case, by the way. I'm just trying to work out this conundrum. So if an intermediary who is behind an opaque, where you can't see the details of who the intermediary is, so you can't say who it is. So it benefits the agent to give money to that intermediary. regardless of identifying that intermediary in their tax affairs and the fact they're receiving money. Can't say whether they are or not. It's just a suspicion. No, look.
No, I don't have any sympathy. I've got no sympathy for them. If anything, I want them to play shit as a result of playing midweek.
I don't want Dec to win the league with Arsenal because I don't like Arsenal.
Yeah, me too. But I'm not going to hate on Declan Rice. I mean, I probably will boo him. I'm not going to lie. I probably will boo him.
Yeah, I know. I booed him last time as well, so I'm very hypocritical in saying that. I booed him.
Yeah, massively. I don't hate him. I don't hate him like I hated Jermaine Defoe when he pissed off. I don't hate him like when Paul Ince left and people like that. I can't have the same level of hatred in that respect.
Yeah. When I was in hospital, Ted says, my mum and dad drove up to see me. My mum briefly had 2 West Ham t-shirts. Happy memories. Yeah. I think it's not.
What do you have as a team, Gal?
I don't know about happy memories. It's a happy memory to see your mum and dad in West Ham t-shirts, obviously, but that's a bloody hell. That's traumatic, isn't it, Ted? Tickle the button, yes, please, Mike WHE. Thank you, Mike. Thanks for the reminder. Please, could you, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel, The Bobby Moores down here on YouTube. Hit the bell notification icon and please give it a like.
Can I just give people a reason?
Give it a hype. No,
I mean, give people a reason to like the video.
Yeah.
Right. If you don't like that, right, then there's something wrong. You need to like the video for this picture alone. So yeah.
So I think Chris.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair, Gal.
so disappointing. And as we know, revenge is a dish best served cold.
Mate, bring it on, mate. I told you.
I will. But I'll do it when you least expect it. You'd be think everything's all right, having a normal show. Boom.
No. See, this is the thing, right? So what you fail to forget, Gal, is that you've got this way of winding me up on many occasions.
Never,
doing this. Yes, you do. You're trying to do it now. Yeah. So it's very incredibly patronising. So this is
what you mean by saying you said something that you didn't.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much that. Yeah, exactly.
Got any Peppa Pig pics? Yeah, true. Oh, Peppa Pig in a beer garden would be good, wouldn't it?
God. I've not stepped foot in that club shop, and I never will do. Honestly, no interest whatsoever.
The one I mentioned earlier, it was from Gazette 80. It wasn't an article; it was a Sunday supplement, which is a show on Sky. And one of the journos, who was the guy that wrote this piece in the Guardian, called Jonathan Liew, Liew, said something about Sullivan being on the take. I'd really like to hear what he said. That'd be good. I don't know how true it is, but it'd be interesting to hear. The fact he said it on the Sunday supplement as well. Fact is, if the show's still up, then it's unlikely there was means to take it down, if you see what I mean. Reasons to take it down. Because no criticism at all is allowed if it's legally preventable. Chris, will we be releasing it as a wallpaper? No, he bloody won't.
Absolutely. I am thinking of actually selling it as well. So maybe it could be a poster, you get it framed. Nice. Oh, like someone's had a dig at me here. Someone said, "Do you see that one, Gal? I think you skipped past that one." Where is it?
Chris will be releasing.
I'm still waiting for Chris to open his eyes. So you said that there it is, right there.
And also, Vinnie Jones is particularly something he likes. He likes that a lot.
I don't. It's weird because my missus says to me I don't have eyelids, but I think it's my Asian heritage because, for those of you that don't know, I'm half Japanese. My eyes are a little bit slanted, so. Bit racist, but there you go. Well,
you're being racist to yourself, so that's all right.
Well, I don't mind.
Bodger, all the supplements are on YouTube. I ain't gonna watch them all, Bodger. I want to know which one. And if you can point me to the right episode, that'd be really good, actually. Gary, the WHU Teddy. Well, what are you talking about? Gary, it was back on January the 26th, 2020. Thank you, Rob. Thank you. At least someone has taken me seriously. So Bodger's told me they're online. January 26th, 2020. I should look that baby up.
Yeah.
Jonathan Liew had to say.
There are some very interesting articles. There are some very interesting articles about Sullivan if you want to do some sort of researching.
I'm going to go and have a look. But if you have not seen that article, please go and read it. If only for the beautiful photo at the top of the page. Guardian, Jonathan Liew, Liew. That's all you got to do. Probably just Guardian and come up. There's only one West Ham article today.
That's very, very good.
Konnichiwa. Brilliant.
Very good.
Well done. You've taken over as comment of the night. Freshfield for that. Gary Ayres, Danger Mouse. Not funny, Darren. Not funny. I'm sensitive about that stuff. You know what I mean? It's sensitive.
There's no need for
Very
that.
hurt.
There's no need for that at all.
Very
What are you
hurtful.
doing? Why are you saying that, Darren? Why are you saying that?
Yeah. I mean, look, be more surprised if he wasn't going to say, look, listen, there's no way you can prove anything like that, right? So I'm not going to say anything else. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's false. I'm not saying it's true. But anyway, let's leave it there. Don't forget, focus, please, on the next big protest, which is Brentford, the abandonment of the Brentford game. It is nothing to do with a team or a manager, and there will be plenty of communication sent out and made public across all social media and everything to make that point. And I don't think Nuno is anyone's fool. I don't think he's going to want to go out and give the, you know what happened last time when I was saying, oh, you know, player would come out. Oh, yeah, it's really important. We need the players there to create the atmosphere. The players will be rolled out one after the other that week. You know they will, because they always are. But
well, it's the upside, Gal. You know, it might be like the COVID season when there was an empty stadium and we were winning game after game.
This is more powerful. Now we're not in disarray on the pitch because people were blaming it for disarray on the pitch. We got a great result against Everton. Please God, we get a great result or some result away to Arsenal, or at least a great performance. So it's even more emphatic that the team's doing well. Then October 20th, abandoning that Brentford game means so much more, because it proves all those fuckers wrong who are saying it's all about, as soon as the team's playing well, you forget about it. Make that not true.
Yeah.
Please. So we'll leave it there, Chris. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you for all your comments. A couple of funny ones in there, actually. Very, very good. I like that Freshfielder. And who's the other one? The other great comment?
Oh, the Japanese ones are coming out now. I can see where is it? It's Chris's
Amazing.
favourite song. I think I'm turning Japanese. And then
I
really think so. Very good. Very, very good. Very good.
Yeah. And that's the key message. Stay united, guys. We're not good divided. West Ham United. So let's unite. West Ham found how many times can you unite myself? Get behind our beautiful club back. Come on, you irons. Yes. Yes. 100%. And this is why. And again, I hope we keep this up, right? Infighting between channels, slagging off other fans, all that sort of stuff's got to come to a halt. If you want to slag anyone off, it's two people you should focus on. Don't focus on slagging the manager off or the players after a bad result. Focus on the root cause. Yeah.
We all want the same thing here. We all want the same thing. And that's where the focus has got to be.
Yes. Yes. The common objective of West Ham United fans is to get the fucking root cause out the door.
Exactly.
What's that? Why was Brady laying down in a car with glasses on coming into the stadium? That's actually travels, chauffeur driven, smokes like a chimney. Yeah. So yeah, there you go. And please, yes, said it in the last couple of shows. Thank you for reminding me. Please sign a petition. We're trying to get 25,000 signatures on there. Not sure where it is at the moment. I'll try and put it in the description. I failed to do it last time, and then I added it after. I'll put it in. I'll update it. Right. So by the time anyone's watching this on replay, it'll be in the description. All right. But yes, if you haven't done it or you failed to do it, please try again, because a lot of people have failed. Chris, thank you for joining.
Cheers, mate. Yeah. It's been a pleasure as always, and looking forward to a good post-match discussion with you.
Yeah. Yes, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So, what is it? 3 o'clock Saturday?
Yeah. 3 o'clock Saturday.
Like the old days. Well, yeah. I'll tell you what. Last year it was 3 o'clock Saturday as well.
Well, the chances are that, I mean, there's always going to be a chance that games will be 3 o'clock on Saturday. But yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah,
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. But yeah, I just listen. I'm not going to get my hopes up on this, and I think that's the right way for me to be, because every time I don't get my hopes up, well, we end up getting something, which is why I'm predicting a loss, because in the back of my mind, I'm thinking me predicting a loss might mean we might get a win. So
reverse psychology, Chris.
Exactly.
14-9-2-1 so far. So it's 14-5 something last week. I think it's gathered pace a bit. So yeah, please let's get it across the 15,000 to start with. Then we'll start asking for 16,000. Thank you everybody for joining. Thanks for Claire for being the head of security tonight and keeping the
with one hand as well. Fair play.
With one hand, double hard.
The one hand mod. Yeah. Well,
your hand gets better. Couldn't you fractured it in one place? Why 3 places? You have to be special, don't you? Right. And thank you all for watching. Until next time, see you soon. Come on, you irons. Hello.